we'll thank the folks at the Joplin Career Center for hosting this announcement. I met with some of the folks here who've suffered significant losses in this terrible disaster, and they've been continuing to work incredibly long hours over the last 10 days to help people who are in need, even dealing with their own losses at the same time. Quickly, I want to recognize a couple of people who are here with me. David Kerr, the Director of the Department of Economic Development. We're also joined by Colonel William Ward of Missouri National Guard, who's leading Task Force Phoenix as the Point State Agency on the job of clearing and removing debris. The devastating impact of last week's tornado was measured in many ways, and the lives taken or changed forever are homes, churches, schools, and no longer standing. And the tornado has also had an impact on many people across this area when it destroyed or damaged hundreds of businesses. They became unemployed because their places of work literally no longer existed. Another hardship visited on the city that has to endure so much already. I've said from the very beginning, we will rebuild Joplin. And a vital part of rebuilding Joplin is putting people back to work. So today I'm announcing that the state of Missouri is making an initial investment of $5.8 million to establish the Missouri Disaster Recovery Jobs Program. This program will create more than 400 temporary jobs for those who were left unemployed by the devastation of last week. These folks will be able to earn a paycheck by assisting with the cleanup and humanitarian efforts in Jasper and Newton counties. That will include working with Colonel Ward and his team on Task Force Phoenix as they expedite the cleanup process here in Joplin. Their work will help them and their families and greatly benefit the community that it rebuilds. The Missouri Division of Workforce Development and the Missouri Workforce Investment Board of Southwest Missouri will work closely with the Guard to coordinate job opportunities and placement, and we appreciate the work that Jason here and his staff will do with the partners in the state in this particular program. The local WIB staff and the Division of Workforce Development have also put in many, many long hours since the tornado to help the citizens of Joplin. Again, many of these staff are from right here in town and had their own personal losses, so I want to thank the staff for their great work. The Missouri Disaster Recovery Jobs Program will be funded through the Federal Workforce Investment Act, and the first priority will be employ workers who lost their jobs because of the tornado. If there are positions remaining after that priority has been addressed, the program will then hire workers who are unemployed for other reasons. The bottom line is that people who want to work after what has happened here, we're going to help put them to work. If folks are looking for work, I urge them to contact the Joplin Career Center right away. That's where we are right here. Everybody got here, you know the address, you know the phone number, that's where we are. And we'll begin accepting applications now, and that process will take a while to go through the various processes that are necessary, but we're open for business and ready to begin taking those applications. This program will provide job and safety training and equipment to each worker before they go into the field. It will also provide vaccinations or any other medical precautions necessary to work in the disaster area. Over the last 10 days, we have worked quickly to bring the necessary resources to this area so that the people here can recover and rebuild. Putting those folks who were left unemployed back to work and back to work soon and taking home a paycheck has got to be part of that effort. I want to add that this is our initial investment in putting people back to work, and we will continue to move forward and be innovative in this area. This is an initial step forward which will make an impact, but it is by no means the completion of what we're going to be doing down here. This afternoon, I'll be meeting with Joplin business leaders to talk about how the state can work with them on economic rebuilding of this area. Earlier today, I held 4 separate conference calls with economic development and business leaders, CEOs, as well as business leaders from around the state. I held those for folks from Springfield, Kansas City, St. Louis, and I tremendously appreciate the outpouring of support that they have given us. I mean, now is not the place to categorize all of that, but we continue to see generosity by individuals and corporations. We continue to see in-kind assistance there, and I think that in talking to those business leaders today, we've just seen the beginning of what the state of Missouri, through all of its partners, is ready to do to guarantee that Joplin is rebuilt. And it was just great to talk to those folks from around the state today and thank them, but more importantly, get their additional input and their additional resources. The input from our local meeting here with business leaders later today and with the calls with leaders from around the state, we will continue to work with business leaders and those calls and those interactions, like everything else, is going to be, as Task Force Phoenix is aptly named, this is going to be born from what's here. This is not a top-down strategy. We're going to work our way up. With that, I'll open up for questions, and then I'll ask once I can't answer, I'll have Colonel Ward or Director.
How quick will people be able to get to work under this program?
David, there are a couple of steps I have to go through.
Well, we were very fortunate that we applied for this grant within days and got quick notification or warning from the federal government. We are working with the Guard and the military and the people that are in charge of this. There are a number of things that have to happen first, but it's a matter in terms of we are accepting applications today in this center. We will process those applications. We will be working with the contractors that will actually employ these the people that are interested in work. So we would anticipate that within 10 to 14 days, we should be able to have everything in place with the applications, the physicals, the reviews, the interviews, and everything to put people to work within 10 to 14 days.
So are these government jobs or private sector jobs?
They are actually funded. They are funded by HUD through this Workforce Investment Act. But we will be the contractors. These will be contracts with contractors that will actually be employing them. But the actual funding will come from the Workforce Investment Act.
How much will they
Real
pay?
quick, Colonel Ward, why don't you just give just a second about how this is overarching 30,000 feet about how the contracting part is under, you're the state actor here, lead state actor, and you have federal partners as well as private contractors.
Yes, sir. We have on the federal side, we have FEMA that is supplying the funds to the Corps of Engineers, and we have contracting going on there immediately for the debris removal. They've already had 3 contracts in place: a debris segregation contract, a heavy equipment contract to aid in the recovery operations, and finally, just 2 evenings ago, a initial debris removal contract was put in place. That debris removal is beginning this week. Stated yesterday in a press conference that was going to start in Sector D6 and define what those boundaries were. So that's beginning immediately. The way I see us utilizing this workforce, contractors will be employed to conduct debris removal, light debris removal, and humanitarian aid within the debris removal area.
So these are being contractors through the Corps, lead actor being the Guard on the state side. The Corps has on its list a certain number of contractors to help in these situations. That's expedited our process, like I say, 2 nights ago, getting the bridge contract, 3 before that. So to give a long answer to a short question, this will be public dollars. The vast majority will be working while under public oversight. We'll be working for private contractors doing that work. Our focus is to try to get those the folks that are working to be local folks here, so that we can and that's the goal here is to make sure that they're put on the front of the line, and so folks that have lost their jobs, quite frankly lost the place they work, in many instances are able to get some work done in this initial phase to get some dollars coming back into their home.
How much will the jobs pay?
I don't have that. We'll work with it. You got that? Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. There is a process where we have to have those wages approved, if you will, determined by the U.S. Department of Labor as well as the Missouri Department of Economic Development. I can say with confidence that they'll pay significantly higher than minimum wage.
Are the jobs going to go first to people who lost jobs because of the storm, or is it like first come, first served?
That is correct.
Yeah, it's going to go to people that lost their jobs because of the storm.
Do the state estimates for how many people are unemployed, do those include the St. John's employees?
I would need to verify that for certain. The initial state estimates included basically every business based on 2009 employment numbers through the tornado damage area that I understand is somewhere between a range of 4,500, I should probably get to the mic, 4,500 to 9,000. And we're actually working with partners in the Joplin Chamber of Commerce to get a firmer number in terms of the door-by-door inventory that they're doing in the business community and get more up-to-date employer-employee counts to make a better determination of that range. But we anticipated a range of 4,500 to 9,000 that were affected in terms of jobs lost.
Yeah.
There are volunteers who have said that they plan to come down here and help with the cleanup. Do the volunteers still play a role in this cleanup, or is this going to be entirely contractor-based? What role do they play?
Well, I mean, we're going to certainly need volunteers, but we're going to go ahead, Carl.
Yes, sir. Yes, we still intend to utilize as many volunteers, as are available. The city of Joplin is still coordinating that effort, so they will continue to be utilized as they have been.
Absolutely. Individuals, especially when you go through the sorting process, their homes are going to continue to need folks to help them in that sorting process, carrying things away, putting it out as they go through each of those. We'll continue to, the City of Joplin will continue to be lead agency on that, and we look forward to working with them. But we are saying certainly more volunteers are needed. They're always needed, but spacing those out over a period of time. This is going to take a long time. There's a lot of work to be done, and so we're trying to, that was one of the points I made with some of the business leaders around the state that are willing to send folks down, and some of the folks in our faith communities to try to get to a pace of this so we have continued help over a long period of time.
The cutbacks to unemployment payments, that were cut back to 20 weeks, is that going to apply to people who lost their jobs from the tornado?
I do not, I'll have to have somebody get back with you on that. I don't know how the timeframe of that works here. I'll get back to you. We'll clarify that